You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
This program is intended for mature audiences only. If you have any homicidal or suicidal feelings, please consult a doctor before listening to this program.
You know you do. Mm-hmm. Yes, you do. It's 4 p.m. Eastern on this Wednesday, the 11th of February, 2015. Yeah. And if you're just tuning in, you're, of course, tuned into Coffee and Cigarettes, not at our normal time. No, granted. We were post-empted by that special edition Crash Talk there at 2 o'clock today. So we got kicked back an hour. But have no fear. Have no fear. Good old Crash and Jenny and Louie and Tom and George. We've got it all for you here today. Yes, we do. And, yes, you probably are asking yourself that ultimate question. Well, geez, Crash, what actually do you have for us today? Well, I'm glad you asked. We got everything, ladies and gentlemen. We got everything. We've got ISIS, ISIL, Obama, terror, Yemen. Oh yeah, Yemen. Did you know about Yemen? Do you even know? Here's really. Oh yes, thank you. Here's really the ultimate question. Do you even know where Yemen is? Pray tell. Yeah, I bet you don't. I don't. I'm the damn host of the show. I don't have a clue. But things are going on in Yemen that are certain to kick us all square in the balls right here. The good old USA. Yeah, it's not good. But hey, you know, in perfect style, of course, as always, you can rely on us here at HTLA to bring you all your greatest hits. Just bring them all. That's right. So come on in, grab a cup, have a seat, and light one up, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, time once again for Coffee and Cigarettes. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The show we know we love. No. We hate. No. Oh, I don't know. What the heck am I doing? I don't have a clue. No idea. Yes, the post-emptying, of course, of the great show for Coffee and Cigarettes today has, well, to be honest, it's screwed us up here. And Jenny feels very bad. Yes, she does. Because, of course, yesterday... Oh, what did she do? Well, some of you who may have caught Crash Talk at 2 o'clock already know, but most of you coffee and cigarette goers don't have a clue. Well, I'll tell you what Jenny did. Jenny thought it'd be a great idea yesterday to, well, first make the first mistake. Which, of course, was what? Well, that would be coming into HTLA Studio 2 in the beautiful downtown Manhattan here. Coming in here with, well, a Starbucks product, number one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did that. She came in here with Starbucks sweet tea, I believe, is what the beverage of question was. Yeah, so she came in with that. And, well, geez, what do you think happened then when she got in that booth and fired up that old $3,000 beautiful, thank you, PreSonus Studio Live 2442 mixer that I personally have a hard-on for. She fires it up, and we start the show on Crash Talk yesterday. Yeah, on time. Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, as always. Yeah, we got into it. We rolled the intro there and the segue, and we got into the theme song or something. And just when we came back from the end of the theme song roll, well, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. She dumped just about the entire contents of that sweet tea. And where do you think it went in that control room? Where do you think it went? Well, I'll tell you. It went all over my 2442. Yes, it did. So she kind of zapped us. I made a bunch of pops, crackles, and hisses and just kind of buzzed out, and that was the end of me. And then, she tried to throw on some fill music, I guess, in a last-ditch effort to save the show, not fully realizing in her brain yet what had actually transpired. And then ultimately the entire thing just frying out. Yes, that's... She did that to us. Yes, she did. And she's very sorry, of course, because, it's no cheap piece of kit. And, yeah, she destroyed it with one fell swoop, as it were. But that's okay. You know what? Because Crash is a forgiving God. Yes, I am. She's just shaking her head in the booth there. But that's okay, because thank you very much to the fine folks over at B&H Photo Studio in town here. Check them out, bnh.com, bnhphotovideo.com. Any of those will work. Check them out. They got the best. They do. And when I say the best, I'm not just talking about the gear, because in addition to the gear, they have literally the absolute best customer service you can get without a prescription in this country. I'm serious. They're for such a big company, and I mean big, like their store is like this huge multi-level playland for Crash. He likes to go there and salivate and sometimes masturbate to some of the great gear they carry there. So, yeah, a special shout-out and thanks to, actually, in particular, Steve over at B&H Photo for getting us a replacement 2442 over here this morning to enable us to actually get back on the air for that final, latest edition of Crash Talk. Finally. Oh, my God, thank the gods. Yeah, that's, yeah. So that was our day yesterday. Man, that was fun. Let's see now. I do have to mention, of course, that today's show is...
Powered by Procast.
Mm-hmm. It is. Thank you, Kate. The one, the only CEO, master boss lady there, right there. Yes. And, of course, that... was brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City, with 8 locations now in the city to serve all of your baked good and coffee and tea needs there, Missy. At least, God, at least, if you had spilt Timmy's on there, it would have been a fitting end to that mixer. Yes, it would have, because, it's going out with quality, always fresh. The Tim Hortons quality is what I'm talking about, and they are. But no, it was bathed in Starbucks and ultimately drowned in its own juices. But yeah, I'm not bitter. No, I'm not. But please tell me, Jenny, that you do have on the line, all the way from the beautiful Mill Bay Studios in downtown, yes, Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada, a town of probably, 1,100 people? You do have the one, the only Louie Lawless on the line there.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louie Lawless.
There he is.
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you?
No.
Sitting behind his desk at Paramount, talking with big executives and TV people, and all of a sudden the chick pops up underneath, wipes off her mouth, and walks out the door, and Jerry doesn't bat an eye.
No, I did not know that, but hey, now I did. Thank you very much for that.
All right, go a half an hour. Do I get $50,000?
Yes, it's all about the money for you, and I'm there for you.
He called me. He called me. He kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone.
Yes, but now you're here. You answered because Jenny called you, and that seems to work. I don't know why.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
All right, well, moving on. Joining us also from his $60 million penthouse overlooking Columbus Circle in the city here, yes, fine, is the one, the only Tom Cruise. Tom?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good to have you. Thanks for being here, and the show would just be nothing without you.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are. I'm just telling you right now, put your manners back in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will do that if you promise to do that. And, of course, that yes, the one, the only George Takei from his home in Los Angeles, California. George, lovely to have you again today.
I think it's a treat to be here talking with you.
Thank you. And, of course, well, the show wouldn't be the same without Jenny's Russian lesson, I guess, is what we're doing. So now coming to you live from the brand new PreSonus 2442 digital mixer will be Jenny's Russian lesson. Nice to meet you in Russian. Is it? Yeah, okay. Yes, okay.
In order to say nice to meet you in Russian, you would say приятно познакомиться. Say it with me. Приятно познакомиться. Приятно познакомиться. Let's say it again. Приятно познакомиться. Приятно познакомиться. And that is how you say nice to meet you in Russian.
Well, there that is.
Absolutely.
That's we've got that there. Thank you, Jenny, very much. And yeah? Okay. She's going to do now, where is the toilet in Russian?
In order to ask someone, where's the bathroom in Russian, you would say, где туалет? Now say it with me. Где, where? Туалет is the bathroom. Где туалет? Great. Say it again. Где туалет? Где туалет? And that is how you say, where's the bathroom in Russian.
Well, there we go.
I think it's appalling.
Of course it is.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, let's see. All right, what are we going to do today? Well, because we're just selling it, don't care. We're just going to fire it all out there. I'm not even going to do any particular order. Yes, no, usually on the show I like to start with our top story. Yes, like Brian Williams and NBC. Yes, this is our top story. But considering he's such a freaking liar, why do that, right? So today I present the entire Coffee and Cigarette Show with all of our news stories completely out of alignment. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So our backwards not so top story today is, of course, cat punching.
You are a douchebag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's all right. George, I know this is very unlikely because you're who you are, and, well, Tom Cruise is who he is, and, well, everybody apparently already knows all about Tom, right?
That's what they do. You've got ADD, ADHD, and you go, what is the solution to that? Well, there isn't a solution. And now today it's take drugs. They actually wanted to put me on drugs. That's what I want.
Oh, all right. Mm-hmm. Well, George, give us the lowdown on you, sir.
I'm George Takei, and when I'm walking down the street, people shout out, "Hey, Sulu, So I'm no more as Sulu than as George Takei, which is what I really am.
Okay. All right. Good. And of course, give us the Star Trek dealio. You gotta.
I've done Star Trek, the series, and the movie series up to the 6th one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and of course, it's like I've got to coax everything out of you. I don't know what that is, but okay. Give us a little rundown on your political activism, George.
Well, actually, what shaped my life is what happened to all Japanese Americans during the Second World War. Pearl Harbor was bombed, and overnight, American citizens of Japanese ancestry were looked at with suspicion and fear and outright hatred simply because we happened to look like the people that bombed Pearl Harbor, and we were put in barbed wire American prison camps. They called them internment camps, but they were really, for our rights and purposes, concentration camps. There were sentry towers with the machine guns pointed at us.
No, George, just to break you up there. For all intents and purposes, they were concentration camps, you say. Well, unless we were, I don't know, putting millions of you in ovens, sending you off to the showers, as it were. Yes, I don't think you can use concentration camp.
You are a douchebag.
Well, you can say that if you want, but let's be fair here. You're part of that LGBT movement. You want equality, so let's stick with equal, shall we?
You apologize for your poor choice in words, but you are always going to be a total douchebag.
Okay, well, that's fine.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Uh-oh.
I'm just telling you right now. Put your manners back in.
Yeah, Tom's not going to be taking any more of your stuff, George. So just yeah. But trust me, after the second commercial break, we are going to make Tom listen to your story about Bobby because, God damn it, I enjoy it.
I did not sleep with him.
Who? Tom Cruise? No, I wouldn't think you did. No,
I think it's appalling.
Well, I know.
Absolutely.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
You want to move on? Come on. Let's go, man.
All right. Well, yes, the first story up for bids on today's Price is Right is, of course, cat punching. Just days after Facebook took down a public Valentine's Day cat punching event page depicting animal abuse. A similar page celebrating violence against cats has now appeared. Nearly 30,000 people signed a petition earlier in the week, causing Facebook to pull the original cat-punching page. But by Tuesday, a new page entitled Valentine's Day Cat-Punching Memorabilia was online. Posts on the page show cats with charred heads and people simulating hitting the animals. Well, you see, I'm all for punching cats. I got to say, I like the cat punching idea. I think it could be the next great sensation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but charred heads? No, see that is animal abuse, and now they've taken something that could have been, social media gold, i.e., cat punching. Think of the marketing abilities. Have you punched your cat today? What's another one? Catpunching.com. Check it out. I just love the cat punching thing.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Well, no, Louie, because I'm not. What do you mean power? I have no power. I'm just a radio host on some rinky-dink little tiny radio station in rinky-dink little tiny New York City of 8 million people, and what the hell do I know? It's not a power thing, per se.
I don't feel it's ignorance breeds bigotry.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that. But I'm not being a bigot when I want to have a cat punching page. But I'll digress, I guess, for now. By Tuesday evening, a new petition was started asking the social media giant to take down that page and any references to animal abuse. Michael Ruza, who started the original petition, and his daughter showed him the page on Sunday night. Quote, there was a video of a small animal on fire running around in a yard. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the court, that is not, not cat punching. So, yeah, I'm going to start a new rights coalition. I'm going to petition the Supreme Court, grand jury, whatever I've got to do, the highest court in the land, to legalize cat punching. And because that is a fun. It's kind of a family thing, you know. Well, think about it. If you had like cat theme parks, right? You could go out with the whole family and spend the day punching cats.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yes, it is. But no, some idiot's got to light a cat on fire and then of course shuts everything down and puts a bad slight to cat punching. That's not cool in my book. Damn it. Well, a spokesperson for Facebook confirmed that the original cat punching page was removed earlier this week, but said that there were no plans to remove the most recent posting. I guess cats on fire is okay.
I think it's appalling.
Right. Yeah. So I can't, have my wonderful cat punching platform, but oh no, let's light them on fire. That's cool.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Well, there you go. Well, many on Facebook have questioned whether it's legal to depict animal cruelty online. That's a good question. What's cruel to some people is party time to others, right? Well, I mean, isn't that fair?
I find that appalling when people who don't know what they're talking about say things like that.
Oh, come on, Tom. Gee, give me a break. I'm just talking about cat punching, not these guys who are lighting them on fire. And, of course, they're not taking that page down because, that's cool, but you can't punch them.
That is absolutely, maybe from your perspective.
Why do I get these guys, really? Why do I get them?
You being Catholic, you realize that you can have birth control. You realize that?
Yeah, Louie, and if you want to go there, really, you're going to talk about that? How about we talk about that news story up in Canada there recently? You were kicked out of a movie theater. Why don't you tell everybody about that?
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't
No.
remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
Right. See, there you go. So you're running around booing and screaming, and you get kicked out of a movie theater. I like cat punching. It gets shut down right away. But, let's punch them and light them on fire. That's okay. That's
Listen, we raise children.
Yeah, me too. Uh-huh. Spit it out.
How do you answer that? How do you answer that question?
I didn't ask you one again, Tom.
You are a douchebag.
Thank you, George. Thank you. Well, based on a 2010 Supreme Court decision that struck down a federal law meant to ban videos of animal cruelty, the First Amendment's protection of even distasteful free speech was solidified. This according to John Watson, a former lawyer and director of the journalism division at American University. Facebook can allow anything to be posted so long as it's legal, Watson said. It's a free speech issue, but then there's the issue of responsible free speech. Yes, and what do I keep saying about rights and responsibilities, huh? Yeah. There we go. The simple fact of the law protects you doesn't mean you should allow it, and I'm sure Facebook is getting a lot of pushback from people. Blah, 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 blah. Daily Mirror reported, yes, let's go all the way across the pond, that they reported that if it was a joke, it still could have real consequences. Yes. Okay. Well, there's your top story for today. Now, we're going to, what are we going to do? Yes, we are late. We are 3 minutes late for our commercial. So we're going to go for our first commercial break. And when we come back, how would you like to buy a trailer? Yeah, those single-wide trailers that all the slack-jawed Americans like to live in? Them trailers? Well, you can buy one now for $1.1 million. We'll have that when we come back.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions? abundant with rich, fertile soil. What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
The hot new accessory? Brows that wow. New from Maybelline, New York, it's Brow Drama, our first sculpting ball brush with tinted gel. Just sweep, then sculpt for bolder, sculpted brows. New Brow Drama. Get the look at Maybelline.com. Maybe it's Maybelline.
In this fast-paced, digital everything life, there's nothing like experiencing the world's finest journalism in its original form. So sign up today for as little as $3.80 a week to receive the greatest newspaper in the world and all the incredible experiences that come with it.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Well, you know we are. That's right. Well, it is 4:28 in the afternoon here in the big city. 33 degrees, Central Park, sunny. People are out walking their dogs. Yes. It's good to walk your dog. And if you don't have one, go steal one and walk it.
Well, I'm a Shakespeare goer.
I know, George. I know. We'll get to that at some point down the road.
You are a douchebag.
Well, you know, what do you do when you live in a shoe? And in our first segment today, we've covered cat punching, which is my new favorite hobby in the world. That's exactly what I live for cat punching now.
I think it's appalling.
You would, yeah.
I think it's appalling that they're still burning synagogues in France. I think it's appalling how certain Muslims are being treated. I think it's absolutely appalling when we talk about freedom of speech and human rights. I think it's appalling that they electric shock people. I think it's appalling that they drug children.
I got an idea. Someone to electric shock right now.
I think it's appalling that they say that there are no solutions for those things. I think it's appalling that people have to live a life of drug addiction. I think it's appalling.
The music is fantastic.
Oh, you like that?
Oh, you got to hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
about fucking time. Move on.
Well, you wanted to hear the damn music again. Geez, the things I do to try and make you guys happy on this show. I don't get it. It's not cool.
Sure, absolutely.
No, it's not, Tom. Damn it. Jesus. All right, well, before we get into our next big story, which is that trailer, yes, you can pick that single-wide family dwelling up for a mere $1.1 million. That story's coming right at you in a second. But before we do that, I feel it's my duty to enthrall the audience and indeed make Tom Cruise listen once again to George Takei tell us about Bobby. Please, George, if you will.
The boys around me were saying things like, Sally is cute, or Monica is hot. And I thought Sally and Monica were nice, but who really got me excited was Bobby.
And what about Bobby really spoke to you, George?
What particularly was exciting was he had blonde forearm hair, and he was tan, that glistened. That's when what caught my eye when I first saw him. He had his T-shirt on, but you can see that he had great pectoral T-shirts. And then to see it off, and it's gorgeous body.
Absolutely.
Well, yes, there you go. Did you ever nail Bobby, as it were, George, after the fact?
I did not sleep with him.
No. That's too bad. Well, at least, you tried, I guess. That's about it.
That's what I want.
What's that, Tom?
Absolutely. That's what I want.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, on HTLA's Coffee and Cigarettes today, the Wednesday, 11th of February, 2015, at approximately 4:31 p.m., Tom Cruise has come out of the closet. There you go.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yes.
You want to move on? Come on. Let's go, man.
Oh, why not? Let's talk about that trailer park. In 1956, fisherman Richard Lester paid $300 for 0.36 acres of property in the Hamptons. Later, he had added a $15,000 trailer, and now the whole thing can be yours for the low, low price of just $1.1 million. So says the New York Post today. You're not dreaming. The listing reads at Elliman.com, noting that a nearby house sold for $4 million. The situation in Amangatset South offers the unusual property to simultaneously live in a trailer and have celebrity neighbors. In this case, the likes of Paul McCartney, Jerry Seinfeld, and according to WSOC, Martha Stewart. The trailer, per the Post, is 700 square feet and looks like it could be straight out of Deliverance. So you're getting your money worth. But a listings agent says you should ignore that. Erase the trailer from your mind, and it's $1 million for land, he says. No one, I imagine, would build less than a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house on this property, which is about a mile from Indian Wells Beach. The general location does seem to be a winner. Last year saw an East Hampton home sell for $147 million.
Absolutely.
It was that you, Tom, you picked that deal up?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, $147 million. That's... Dude, how much money do you have?
You're stepping over a line now. You know you are. I'm just telling you right now. Put your manners back in.
Okay. Well, did you ever help Louie out with his poor $25,000? Nah?
No one's ever said that to me.
No, but seriously, you could have at least given him that. Come on, it's $25,000 is nothing to you.
That is absolutely maybe from your perspective.
Okay. All right. Well, whatever. Oh, and as per contract negotiation here now with Tom Cruise, every time he's on the show now, we have to let him speak a little about Scientology. So I guess let's blow that can of worms out of here right now, Tom. Give it to us. Lay it on us.
A friend of mine actually gave me this, it's actually this picture book about suppression, and social and antisocial personalities, and I was like, what is this? He said Scientologist. I said, I'm very interested. And that's when I became a Scientologist, about 20 years ago. People are interested in Scientology, and I find that people wanted to know they want to know about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I got to say, we get emails all day, every day, 24/7, all about Tom Cruise, wanting to know about you, wanting to know about Scientology, and yeah, no, they don't.
You're stepping over a line now.
Well,
you're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now. Put your manners back in.
Well, I don't know. It's going to be hard to do when I'm talking about politicians, and of course, I'm going to be talking about politicians now. That's right. What edition of Coffee and Cigarettes wouldn't be complete without actual coffee and actual cigarettes? And of course, a reminder that today's program is brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City, now with 8 fine locations across the city to serve your coffee and baked goods needs. And let me tell you, that's the stuff you'll want. That'll make you big and strong like me. Yeah, you can be Crash Jesus, the man.
Mr. T would be proud of you.
Thank you, Louie. Thank you very much. Mr. T, huh? Yeah, we should have him actually on the show. That's what we should do. Yeah, we got George Takei, so why, I'm sure we can get Mr. T. The only one I'd be missing after that would be Artie Lang.
You would have loved the guy. Never drank, never smoked, did drugs, nothing. He had only one obsession, and that was the women.
He just pitied the fool, and yeah.
If you think that you were clever with women, he wouldn't stand a candle with this guy.
No.
Or Muhammad Ali was another one with women. I did 2 films with him.
Yeah.
We would walk into. We were doing a big boxing movie with 200 or 300 people in the stand, and he walked in and had beside him stood his macho honcho, and those were all the Muslims in those days. They had those little thin ties and suits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he would point at the females, and he went and got them and gave them a note, and every 20, 30 minutes, they would go into his dressing room. But they were only talking about negotiations, I'm sure, right?
That's what I want.
Oh, yeah, it's all about the business, yeah.
It's all about the business, yes.
I have been a survivor in this cutthroat business called showbiz, but I've also been active and very much engaged in civic and the political arena in advocacy.
Right, yeah. Okay, well, thanks for that, George. Yeah, moving on now. Jeb Bush's chief technology officer has resigned from his post. Yes, he has. That's it. He's madder than hell. He's not going to take it anymore. No. This comes a day after he removed tweets from his personal account that the likely presidential candidate considered to be, quote, inappropriate. Ethan Kazur announced his resignation from Bush's political committee following an uproar about tweets dating back to at least 2009. Well, there's some quick, decisive action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not. That referenced women and sluts and made other derogatory comments about women and sluts. I just like saying that. Sluts. The deleted tweets were first reported by BuzzFeed, which published screen grabs of the messages in question, those being women and sluts.
Absolutely.
I like sluts. Well, I'm not allowed to say the F word, so whenever I can get off a good sluts, I like to use it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, the story goes on, but who cares? It's Jeb Bush's tech officer. So what? Jeb who and tech what? Come on. Surely there's more exciting stories. Well, how about what you earn for life likely set before you're 30, says a news report. Yes, a new one. Those who like predicting how much money they'll have by the time they retire may want to pursue the Federal Reserve Bank of New York's latest research. The bank's report, which analyzed the careers of 5 million workers over 40 years, found that its first 10 years of a person's time in the labor market will likely determine their lifetime earnings. And I guess, Tom, that doesn't count for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that didn't work out right there, does it? No. Well, let's see here. Anything else important about the story? No, not a thing. Who cares? Move on. Right. Well, let's see. Congress is preparing to weigh in on battle against Islamic State Yes, of course, after they meet with the Pope. I'm so glad there's that separation of church and state in this country.
I think it's appalling.
Well, it is. In Washington today, the White House sent Congress a formal request for authorization for the use of military force to combat the Islamic State militants, citing threats the group poses to Iraq and Syria, stability in the region, and the national security of the United States, which is, of course, threatened because, of course, all the oil is down there. All the oil, boy. Mm-hmm. The authorization would replace the 2002 authorization used to authorize the war in Iraq originally. All those, 13 years ago now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, but George, I'm the douchebag, right? Well, the Senate Foreign Relations Chairman Bob Corker said his panel would schedule swift hearings on the AUMF. The White House has been working with lawmakers in both parties on the text of the authorization in order to build support. However, President Obama has maintained that he has existing legal authority to conduct operations and will do so with, of course, his mighty pen. Yes, because, that's what you do. You just swing that pen around, you tiny-dicked little man.
As I grew up, I made another discovery. There were places called gay bars.
Of course. Yes, there are. Yes.
I think it's appalling that they say that there are no solutions for those things. I think it's appalling that people have to live a life of drug addiction.
And Tom, you just need to hang out in more gay bars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
That's all you got to do, man. Just trust me. I know what I'm talking about. And yada, yada, yada. Who cares? Obama's just going to sign an order, put boots on the ground, and, when it comes election time, he's not going to leave office because he's going to declare that we're in a state of war, and he can't leave the office while the war rages on. And, of course, that should translate to another 10, 13, 15 more years of war, and he'll just stay living in the White House rent-free because that's what he do.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know, Louie, and for once you're actually on point.
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award, and we didn't.
Well, ISIL will lose, Obama says, as he seeks more war power. The resolution President Obama sent to Capitol Hill today places more limits on the president's military campaign against the Islamic State than the existing authorizations already in place. Yep. Make no mistake, Obama said at the White House, this is a difficult mission, adding that ISIL will, quote, lose. Yes. Yeah, just like we lost in Vietnam. Yeah, just like that. Sure. The draft resolution would not authorize enduring offensive ground combat operations, and it would place a 3-year time limit on operations before a resolution would have to be renewed. But the resolution would not repeal the existing 2002 authorization that Obama says already gives him authority to conduct a worldwide war on terrorists, bringing into question whether the congressional debate is primarily a legal or political exercise. As it stands, the draft resolution, called an Authorization for the Use of Military Force, or AUMF, as stated earlier, contains very loose language that only adds to the ambiguity about the president's war powers, says Louis Fisher, a scholar at the Constitution Project. So, even so, as he asked Congress to pass the AUMF Wednesday, he said, existing statutes provide me with the authority I need to take these actions. If the administration has specific statutes in mind, it should identify them, Fisher said. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest said that the time is not right for Congress to take back the president's power to fight the global war on terror. Just don't do it. Eventually, we want to be in a scenario where we're not on a permanent war footing, he said. But there's no question that right now, the threat that we face from al-Qaeda is one that we will take very seriously, and one that to which the president and his national security team will devote significant, if not all, attention, because that's just how they roll.
I think it's appalling.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Well, They did, and so goes that, and Obama's just going to have his war, and everybody's going to be happy. Let's get on to something that really matters to us. How about the coldest air of winter to roar into central and eastern U.S.? Yes, the worst is yet to come. 2 punishing blasts of Arctic air will bring the coldest temperatures of this winter to the eastern half of the USA just in time for Valentine's Day. And, of course, the icy cold President's Day weekend, because the president's just icy cold. Yeah. High temperatures will make it only into the single digits, teens in major cities, including Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, Pittsburgh, and Boston by week's end, says AccuWeather. They also predict overall temperatures will be about 20 degrees below normal for much of the central and eastern U.S. during this time. While beleaguered New England will see 2 rounds of more snow on Thursday and Saturday, precipitation won't significantly impact most other areas affected by the Arctic blast. Early Thursday, the first Arctic plunge will move into the Midwest and Ohio Valley and will reach the East Coast late Thursday, before making it all the way to the Gulf Coast and Florida by Friday, says WeatherBug. And you know, when it comes from WeatherBug, you can take that to the bank.
Sure, absolutely.
Well, howling winds will only add to the misery. The combination of frigid air will not only be painful to endure for short periods of time outdoors, but can bring life-threatening conditions for those not properly dressed. The bitter cold will reach down into the deep south, where highs may reach only in the 30s. A second shot of even colder air will spread across eastern U.S. by Sunday and into Monday. New York City may shiver through its coldest day in over 2 decades on Sunday. Daily record lows will be threatened both Sunday and Monday mornings in parts of the Northeast, Southeast, and the Great Lakes as the reinforcing cold blast plunges south, so says the Weather Channel. The air will get cold enough in central and northern Florida to bring the risk of damage to unprotected sensitive fruits and vegetables. Frost and freezes are possible as far south as Orlando by Monday morning, according to, Weather Hoo-Hoo. So what? Who cares? Really? Why do I got to have reports of the same thing from 30 different weather companies? WeatherHooHoo.com and Snugbug and all these.
Absolutely.
Bottom line, make the story short. It's going to be damn cold. Stay inside and, I don't know, hold on to your butts. We'll throw that in there just for fun and call it a day. Because we've got our last story of the day. Yes. Is it? Oh, no, maybe not. Right. That's right. It's not, because I still have to talk Yemen. Yemen. Chapel Hill has been rocked by 3 killings. Yes, 3 Muslim students. It's funny how this story, I know this story, it takes place over a fight in a parking lot, and, well, now, oh no, it's a Muslim hate crime. No, it's got nothing to do with the damn parking space. No. This isn't about that. They were targeted because they're Muslims. Well, the mayor of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, said Wednesday that the college town has been, quote, rocked by the shooting deaths of 3 Muslim students that the father of 2 of the victims calls, quote, a hate crime. Yes. The fatal shootings have sparked condemnation from National Muslim Civil Liberties Group and triggered a Twitter uproar over allegations of anti-Muslim sentiments. Well, here's a news flash for you, you Muslim freaks. Welcome to the United States of America. Here, we're Americans. Here we believe in God and Jesus and I don't know what else. I'm not religious. I don't know what the hell we believe in, but I can pretty much frickin' assure you it's not Allah. No. In fact, the Americans I'm talking about, we know Allah. Oh, yes, we do. But it's always attached to a bomb threat or some asshole blowing themselves up in a mall or some idiot taking out the World Trade Center or et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, this is the world of equality now, ladies and gentlemen. You got to suck it. I'm entitled to my opinion, and I'm going to give it to you.
No one's ever said that to me.
That's okay, because I'll give it to you.
Sure, absolutely.
Well, there you go. You just keep quiet, Tom, you drug-taking guy, you.
That's what they do. You've got ADD, ADHD, and you go, what is the solution to that? Well, there isn't a solution. And now today it's take drugs. They actually wanted to put me on drugs.
I think you could probably do well on some, Tom.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, see, never rule anything out. That's what I always say. Oh, yes, anti-Muslim bias. Gee, I wonder why that would exist in America. Should I play some music? Yeah, so we can all sit here and think for a moment. Geez, why would there be any anti-Muslim bias in the United States of America? Oh, wait, yeah, I know. Terrorism. Yeah, see? George isn't laughing now. Right. The victims, all shot in the head, were identified as Dia Shadi Bakrat, 23, and his wife, Yusor Muhammad, 21, of Chapel Hill, and Razan Muhammad Albu Zahala, 19, of Raleigh, North Carolina, apparently, police said. The two female victims were sisters. Really? The Muslims are going to get on our case for this when they do female circumcision. Oh, yes, this is a hate crime against Muslim women. Yes. Oh, yes. Bakrat, a, quote, Syrian American, and a second-year dental student. Oh, well, it's good that they're immigrating to this country and becoming things that we really need here, like nuclear physicists and, well, geez, name anything else but a dental student, please, because that's what she is. A dental student, yeah, because we need, America, wake up. We are in a drastic shortage right now of dental students. Yes. Whatever. University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and Yusur Muhammad were married in late December. Yes. Listen to 2 911 calls that came during the shooting in audio below. No, you know what? I'm not going to, because I'm sure they're talking about 911, the number that you phone when there's an emergency. But I'm going to digress because of 911, which means something else. And it means something else to, well, suck it, the majority of Americans.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tom. Yes. And we're going to stick to that. And you can stick whatever else, anywhere else you want. That's fine with me.
I wasn't expecting that reaction.
Well, I know. And this really isn't a platform for it, George. This is supposed to be a fun show. We talk about gay sex and Tom's incredible amounts of money in Scientology.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are. I'm just telling you right now, put your manners back in.
Mr. T would be proud of you.
That's what I like to hear, Louie. I love Mr. T. Mr. T, you come on this show anytime, my man. I got your back. So that story has made me so mad, I'm not going to finish reading it. Goodbye, story. Rotten hell. But let's move now to Yemen. Yes. The Muslim Yemen rebels seize U.S. embassy and vehicles as diplomats flee. Geez, I wonder why there's that anti-Muslim bias here. I just don't understand it all. I'm just so confused. Oh, my God. But I'll digress. Yemen rebels seized U.S. embassy vehicles in the capital of Sana'a on Wednesday as diplomats fled the country and several foreign embassies closed amid deteriorating security conditions.
You know, I don't feel it's ignorance breeds bigotry.
Thank you, Tom. Nothing to do with what we're talking about. Moving on. More than 25 vehicles were taken by Houthi rebels after Americans departed the city's airport. Airport officials told the Associated Press. The rebels also took weapons left in the vehicles, the official said, speaking on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak to reporters. Those damn Muslims. Yeah. U.S. Embassy's Marine Detachment, which escorted embassy personnel to the airport, are believed to have turned over their personal weapons, which included sidearms and assault rifles, to Yemeni officials before boarding commercial flights, said Colonel Steve Warren, a Pentagon spokesman. Yeah, I'm not, but I'll tell you this. If I were a U.S. Marine in that situation, leaving that place, my weapons wouldn't be leaving me until I got back to a Marine base here stateside or wherever we're flying to and turn them over to the proper authorities, which would be, well, I don't know, my commanding officers in the Marines, not more Yemen people after taking over our embassies. Thanks. Go to hell. Yeah, but that's just me. I'm silly Canadian. What do I know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, they destroyed the heavier weapons, such as machine guns, before departing a shuttered U.S. embassy in an orderly evacuation, Warren said. He said several vehicles were left behind. A small number of military personnel not assigned to the embassy remain behind, he said. Staffers at the U.S. Embassy also destroyed files and documents, the Associated Press reported. Meanwhile, back at the State Department, they said it currently had no plans for the government-sponsored evacuation of American citizens, but urged extreme caution amid an ongoing risk of kidnappings and YouTube beheadings. In Sana'a, witnesses told the Associated Press that Houthis violently attacked several demonstrations Wednesday against the takeover of the country. Later in the day, thousands of Houthi supporters marched through the capital shouting, "Death to America, death to Israel," which is part of the group's slogan. Now I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen of America, Muslim what? Anti-Muslim what?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think it's appalling.
Thank you. Yeah. Whatever. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the court, I do submit that now it's time to go. So I want to thank HTLA Radio 1, of course, as always, for having me on and not firing me at the first lawsuit. No. I'd like to thank Tom Cruise, the one and only, from his $60 million penthouse overlooking Columbus Circle. Thank you very much, sir, for being here.
Absolutely.
Hope to see you tomorrow.
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Also, George Takei, the one, the only, thank you so much for being here.
I've enjoyed it thoroughly. It has been a fantastic experience.
Well, that's high praise coming from you. Thank you very much. Louie, any parting words?
I need to try and raise $25,000 to enter in the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fantastic risk because we have a tremendous chance. There's about 200 members that vote on it, and they all you have to give them a DVD now.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll think about it.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louie Lawless.
Yes, sir. We've got that. And from all of us at HTLA, to all of you out there in Radio Land, thank you for tuning in. Reminder, tomorrow, Coffee and Cigarettes, the Thursday Double-Double, will be coming up at you, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're back to our regular slot tomorrow. Thanks to Jenny and all the folks here who got everything patched together again this morning and got us back going again. And that's it. We'll check you folks all tomorrow. Oh, and don't take any wooden Muslims. There we go.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.